All right, so we got a 14-year-old Florida teen who's behind bars after taking a man's life with a gun because he said that the driver tried to run him off the road while he was riding his bike. So let's check this one out, and as usual, I'll come back with my thoughts about the situation.
A 14-year-old boy is in the Palm Beach County Jail tonight, charged with murdering a man in the streets of Riviera Beach. Despite his age, the teenager faces charges as an adult, which could mean life in prison if he's convicted. Aria Height explains why prosecutors decided his age should not factor into the murder charge against him.
Jamal Parker is right now here at the Palm Beach County Jail. A judge Tuesday morning ordered he be held without bond. Jamal Parker may only be 14 years old, but because of what he's accused of doing, he's being treated as an adult. Jamal Parker is charged with first-degree murder. He's accused of killing a man in Riviera Beach. Jamal Parker is only 14 years old. The state attorney's office has chosen to charge him as an adult.
A lot of discretion goes to the prosecutor.
Dave Arenberg is a former state attorney in Palm Beach County. He's not involved in this case, but has overseen many cases like this one where prosecutors have to wrestle with whether to charge a minor as a juvenile or an adult.
Prosecutors will look at a variety of factors like the seriousness and the nature of the offense.
In Parker's case, the murder happened on May 19th in the 1400 block of West 30th Street. Parker told police he was on his bicycle when a driver tried to run him off the road, so he chased after that driver and shot him. A witness told police, quote, "The suspect then shot a few more times at the victim while the victim was on the ground, ultimately killing the victim." Parker later told police he didn't know the victim and, quote, "cannot have remorse for someone he does not know." Arenberg says he believes all these details are why Parker is being charged as an adult.
The goal is to punish that child, especially if that child has a lengthy rap sheet for his age, especially if it's the use of a firearm, especially if it's premeditated.
Arenberg says a trial with a 14-year-old defendant can be challenging. It's difficult for some people to picture someone that young as an adult.
That can make a difference with some jurors who don't want to send a young person away for a potential life sentence.
One more thing, Parker may be tried as an adult, but because of his age, he cannot face the death penalty. The harshest sentence he can face is life in prison. At the Palm Beach County Jail, Aria Height, WPBF 25 News.
Damn, man, I look at this and 14 years old, and I think about that because my daughter, she's a year older than him. And I just know that he doesn't understand what kind of ride he's in for. And the truth is that by the time reality kicks in, by that time, he realizes it's already too late. These emotional outbursts or these emotional overreactions have and will get a lot of people into trouble. Now, with this situation, the young man said he believed that the driver tried to run him off the road or whatever, and we don't know if that's, true or not. I mean, it could be, but let's just say if the driver did try to run him off the road, I guess, I don't know, if the driver did try to run him off the road, I mean, I could maybe see why, the team would be in a state of fear, panic, or anger. I mean, we all get upset, right? And I think it's normal to have these emotions because we all run the spectrum. But what matters is what we do with those emotions. But see, here's where it gets critical, I think, because once the driver drove away, it was over. And that's where it should have ended. But the teen, he decided to chase down the car and shoot the driver. And that's when it turned into retaliation, payback. He wanted some payback. He wanted to teach the driver a lesson, I guess. But you see, when your way of teaching somebody a lesson ends in death, you become the villain, not the victim. And on top of that, he continued to fire additional shots while the guy was on the ground. And looking at his age, I mean, he's 14 years old out there with a gun. And I think the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is like, why is he out there with a gun? He's 14 years old. Why is he out there with a gun? And, I'm just thinking, like, this could have been anybody that this kid came across, and not just that man in the car that day who just happened to cross paths with him. So, but now he's charged as an adult, and it wouldn't be that way if he made better choices, because that's what it really comes down to. It comes down to choices, and the moment that car drove away, he could have let it go. He could have recorded the license plate of the car, maybe, gave it to the police or something. Anything, I think, would have been better than him chasing down the driver of that vehicle and shooting the driver and taking his life. And so now he'll have to deal with the cold, hard consequences of his actions and his choices, from that day. And I don't know if he thought that maybe because he was 14 years old, maybe he thought he would go to juvie or just get a slap on the wrist, do a few months, and then go home. But see, that illusion has been shattered, and he's got a long road ahead of him now. And I think when most kids his age, will be out looking forward to the next school year, maybe enjoying the rest of their summer, I don't know, looking forward to the next new video game or whatever else, he has to look forward to court dates, attorneys, and the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would possess him to think that was just something okay to do. But yeah, man, if you got kids or, got some kids or children in your family, man, just try your best to kind of steer them in the right direction and just teach them that just because they're kids, that doesn't always mean that they will always be treated as such, especially when it comes to something like this, and getting caught up in the justice system where, they can be charged as adults, because once that happens, mommy and daddy, they can't save you. The kid gloves, they come off at that point. And for him to be 14 years old, it'll be a hard road ahead of him that he'll have to kind of look forward to. And it's not going to be easy, I don't think. But 14 years old, and you sit back and like, damn, dude, you got a murder charge at 14 years old, and you're not going to juvie, you're going to adult prison, possibly, and possibly for the rest of his life. And that's going to be something that's going to be a whole like shock to him, not being able to get up and do what you want, being told when to eat, when to go to sleep, when to shower, when to go to the restroom, when can, being told when to go outside and exercise. So, but that's the thing. He brought it on himself, and now he's got to kind of deal with the consequences of whatever that's going to be. But like I said, man, if y'all got kids, man, just try to keep them on a straight and narrow path, because you don't want to have to see them kind of navigate the justice system, and they really don't know what's going on. So y'all take care, stay safe, and as always, just make better choices. Peace, y'all.